Welcome back, gang. Glad to see you. Today is how to make a beater for your drum. I just did a video on how to stretch a skin. If you guys, by the way, if you want to see how I made the frames, let me know and we'll do a video on that too. But they were pre-made by me earlier, and so that wasn't included in the last video or a separate video. But whether you want a mallet or a beater for your drum, once again, I like to use as much natural products as I possibly can. So let me show you what I got today. What we have here, I use different things, but this is a corn cob. Believe it or not, this works really well. Again, it's natural. I drilled a hole, a pilot hole, and then a hole in the center of it to go on a branch, and just took off some of the bark, left the bark for a handle. Makes it completely natural, feels good, you get a good grip on it, won't slip out of your hands. And then used a couple of different methods with a couple different tool heads, I should say, as far as my Dremel, and made the exact size that I needed so that it would fit on. So that's part one. Next is actually using good old Elmer's wood glue. I love this stuff. This is actually what I use on the drums as well. And we pour some in. Gotta get it down here first. Not too much. And put a little bit on here. It's gonna squeeze out, but it'll be okay. And you have to make sure that you don't go outside of the hard core or you'll wind up just breaking it, which I've learned that from my past mistakes. And all we have to do is put it on, nice and tight, twist it on, take the glue from underneath, slip it around like so. Put a little bit on the top because I did drill the pilot hole all the way through so that I could press the glue and air out of it to make sure that it was seat correctly. The next part is, this is a chamois that you would use to dry your car with. And as you can see, I have the circle, which is the very top of the corn cob, that's already marked out on there. And so we're going to place a little bit of glue on top, and we'll need some more here in a moment. Smear it around, put it down here, it doesn't matter. Actually, we want to put some on the corn cob itself so we make sure everything's going to stick correctly. Use our fingers, smear it in a little bit. No big deal. You get it on your fingers, it's not a big deal because it really just dries up and you just take it right off. So we place it in the circle. First I want to pull up the outside, the longest part. And while I have those tucked in, I want to take and just ever so lightly and slightly bring this around, because this is the shortest end. This is the way I cut it, like so, and it meets that glue. So we know that's always going to be connected correctly. Might want to take a little bit more glue and put in here. Once again, fold this down, pull this around to where it meets the one on the left. Now, I have this excess that I'm going to go ahead and trim off. This is better with a razor knife. But it doesn't always cut the way you want it to. But now you have your line, and you can use your scissors to cut it correctly right where you want it. So if we have any kids watching, this is a great project to do at home. Maybe you'll be able to do this to the point and maybe you can get a couple credits for it for school, for arts and crafts. I don't know if you guys do that anymore. We did when I was in school, because we had an art class. It was pretty cool. And I want to make sure that it gets nice and secure in there. A little bit more glue, and fold it right over on top, just like this. So right there, you can see it's already pretty well wrapped. The nice thing about a chamois is it's also a type of leather, so it's never going to wear out for the life of the drum, as far as I'm concerned. I've never seen one wear out, and they work great. So now I'm going to take a needle that you can get at your local Michael's, Hobby Lobby, anywhere else. You can get a package of them like this. And they have different types of needles. They're very easy to thread. This product through is called Sinew. And the color I'm using is natural. And it comes on a spool like this. And what we need to do in the beginning is go through the very top inside, because what I did was I came out and I tied a knot to it on the end so it would not pull through. Okay? So we come through the inner layer, which is double. This is actually kind of hard in the beginning because it is doubled up. Like I said, it is a leather. It's really, really tricky to start. And please don't poke yourself like I have in the past. And these are actually for using to make different necklaces and things, other projects. But what I like to do is use it to start. If it's too hard to do that, like I said, it's really, really tricky in the beginning. You don't want to poke your finger. There we go. Now once you get it through, there we go. I'll just pull it the whole way through. Use this to overlap it. And come back to the way you began. Again, this is, you're going through 2 layers of it, so it's really, really tough. Really tough. There we go. Now we want to position it the way we want it. Hope you guys can see this okay. I'm at a strange angle here. Now we can pull it down like so, or even better yet, let's go up on top. I hope you can see this. Sometimes you can use the table to push it through too. You know, get it a little bit out of form, but it'll come back together once you start threading it, which you'll see here in a moment. And we want to come down and pull it over like so. And then just go through the top layer. Oh, just pulled it out. And then pull it tight. Okay. And then just continue the process. And I'll show you what it looks like in here in just a minute. Okay, we got that done. That's what it looks like. I'm not a seamstress, so it doesn't look perfect, but I think you get the point. Now, the cool part about this is now, because you have the outer larger diameter of the corn cob, and then the stick is smaller, obviously, all you have to do is wrap it around, I don't know, as many times as you like. And then what I do is I take the very bottom stitch and run it through there to tie it up. Now I have too much of the sinew. This is sinew, by the way, it's not thread, if I didn't already mention that. Run it through to make a knot. That way it will never loosen up. And just to be sure, I do it one more time. And there's your knot. And that is it complete, except for the fun part. What's the fun part, you ask? Well, I'm going to show you. I like to add beads if I have them, and I just happen to have some in here. I've already picked them out, so we're going to go ahead and put them on here. First, we have to make a knot up close to the top. And then we're going to take a piece of turquoise. Well, first we have to get the end very, very small. This is very challenging sometimes. There we go. There's one. Then we have a darker bead to go on. Then we have also green, like a small tube that goes on. Then, just to make sure that everybody's happy, we got a nice little smiley face. And that goes on too. And then we repeat the process in the opposite direction. The nice thing about the sinew is like a wax covered material, so that you can keep twisting it to get that point just right where you can get it in there. And then, whoop, it can be challenging. It's very small. And the other green one. Then the last is the turquoise. Just twist that up, make those fibers come together once again. And there you go. Now all we have to do is tie a knot. Which is right about there, and now it won't come off. So there you go. That is how you make a mallet or a beater for your drum. And with a little bit of bead decoration with a smiley face. All natural materials. Even the beads themselves, except for the happy face, you know, that's wood is painted. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that little demonstration. I hope it's something you might want to do. It's just a fun little art project to do, but especially if you have a drum, it's the perfect solution. It's nice and you have to get a good hardwood when it's wet. In other words, while it's still alive, if somebody cuts down a tree, go grab a couple of branches and then trim them down to size. Whatever you feel is comfortable in your hand. And then whatever length you want. This is probably about 12 to 14 inches long altogether. And it just makes a nice little mallet / beater for your drum. So I hope you really enjoyed that. Yes, I sell the beaters and the drums. If you are interested, send me your name and email in the comments below, and I'll be sure to go ahead and send you the information about the drums and the beaters. And on the drums, I also go ahead and paint different things on the canvas. And so I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for the sharing your time with me here on Raw Life, and we'll see you the next time. Take care, y'all. Bye-bye.